So I want to do another video based on bag space. The game has changed a lot. For me, my inventory to my first video of bag space really hasn't changed too much. But the reason why it can change is if you play assault characters, as well as if you want to be a character to hold ult accelerants. I wouldn't say Watson in particular, but holding ult accelerants is actually a really, really important thing, depending on what character you're playing, such as if you're playing Bloodhounds, Revenant, Bangalore, and Horizon. Those are huge, especially Catalyst as well. Having that ability to get your ult back, especially for a higher tier ranked play, you definitely want it as fast as possible. Bangalore is like 4 minutes long. You know what I mean? You really want to cut that time down so that way you can get to the next fight. So anytime you see an accelerant, you basically want to use it. So bag space off drop, I tend to prioritize just a little bit of ammo, meds. So let's say off drop, I found my R9 and I found my Hemlock. Basically what I run is I'll run 240 heavy and then 120 light. That is going to be my end game setup. That is the ammo count that I want. This is basically the ammo that I run almost all game. This is what I max out at. If I'm finding myself in a position where I want to poke more, I'll grab another stack and I'll go 300. So I'll go 300. But let's say I have this and I don't have meds. You want to always prioritize meds over ammo. And what I'll do is I'll pick up my cells like this. So I have 12 cells, right? If I need a battery now, I'm dropping a stack of ammo and I'm grabbing a battery. Now I need a med kit, right? I'll drop the light and now I'm grabbing a med kit. So this is kind of the scene of what will be if I have no backpack. I have 180 bullets, 60 bullets in my R9. And if I can't kill anybody with what I have here, I need to figure it out, right? And the main reason why you want to have this is because if you are going to an end game and you don't have a backpack, let's say you just got rezzed and whatever, but you found all this stuff, you want to prioritize being able to stay alive rather than shooting your gun, right? Because you can rat to a better placement. You could just, it's all about staying alive. So using your meds and staying alive is the most important piece. When we grab a backpack, now I'm going to go ahead and grab that 240 ammo that I talked about, and I'm going to grab the extra ammo. That's all that changed, right? I grabbed my ammo back. So now I have my ammo that I want. This is my end game setup, or like the setup that is ideal for a white backpack. I'm like, oh, I feel great. Next is going to be a blue backpack. Whenever I get the blue backpack, the next thing I prioritize is, again, meds. I'm all about batteries. So this is like what I look for. Again, everybody's different. This is just what I run. Now, I'm going to give you two different versions. I'm going to call this the med version. Is with a blue backpack. This is the med version right here. What you can do is, depending on your character, specifically you're playing Horizon or a character that you want to prioritize nades, what you can do is, for me, Revenant, I poke, I dive in, I need batteries. I don't care about nades. I'm running in there. I'm shooting my gun. I'm always active, right? Now, if you're playing a character like Horizon, I drop 2 batteries and a stack of ammo. I'll pick up 2 arc stars. So I'll have 2 arc stars. So this would be my inventory if I was playing with nades, right? On a blue backpack, this is the ideal inventory. This can work for almost anybody. Nades are unbelievably important in Apex. If you're fighting somebody, a team goes inside of a building, they have a Newcastle wall, they have a Gibraltar bubble, whatever. You go inside the bubble, you throw an arc star in the middle of the bubble, and you play the bubble, whatever, right? There's so many. Horizon ult is the most important. A Catalyst team is using their wall, but they're going to a certain direction. Whatever, it doesn't matter. A big thing right now is Catalyst using the door. Like they would use their passive on the door, and you need a nade to blow up the door. This is going to be the best thing. Okay, now, purple backpack. Again, I always prioritize this. So I'll get 6 batteries. And again, I'm all about my ammo. So this is the final backpack that I run consistently. You'll basically see that there's not a major change from the past in the past video that I made. This is kind of what I rock, but this is going to be, 240 ammo, 120 in my secondary, and then basically, 6 batteries, 12 cells, well, syringes. I never picked up the syringes, but you get it. Maximize my syringes as well, and then that's going to be our inventory. Now, as far as the gold bag, when you get the gold bag, this is where I like to pick up extra nades. So I'll pick up an extra arc star right here, or an extra frag grenade, or whatever I'll pick up. Now, in the end game, what you can do as well, if you're not shooting your gun, what you want to do is realistically, I'm talking like 3-4 squads left, zone's about to close on the final zone. You can even drop 2 more stacks of ammo and just pick up nades, because nades are going to win you that fight more than ammo is. Like, you're not going to blow through 120 heavy ammo and 120 light ammo in the span of 30 seconds, right? Like in the end game, right? But this, like when you're throwing arc stars on the ground, when everybody's diving off the top and they're all going inside of a bubble, you're going to do far more damage than any weapon is going to do. So again, gold backpack really allows you to just hold more nades while still maintaining your heals. And what you can also do on top of that, if you wanted to, when you get better at the game, you can choose what to drop, right? Like if you wanted to keep your ammo, you can drop 3 batteries, 4 cells. You're not going to blow through 3 batteries and 4 cells in the end game, right? Like depending on how end the game, you know, how end game it is. Like if you're right here and the zone's on your back and you have 6 batteries in your inventory and you got to move right now and there's 2 squads in front of you, 6 batteries isn't going to help. You're going to walk out and you're going to die instantly, or you're going to throw 4 nades at their face, right? So that's what I'm saying is prioritizing nades in the end game. You can really just drop practically your whole inventory of whatever you want and just grab nades. But that's a tip for, you know, another time. But that's, you know, explanation for another time. But there it is, right? Now, that's for like every average character. Now, any assault character, as we know, Bangalore is huge right now. When they have 240 ammo, it saves you a slot. Assault characters can pick up a bunch more nades like this and still have like a bunch of meds and cells. Like I'm going to drop this. I'm going to pick up cells, right? Instead of having 4 nades, what you can do in this scenario is with a purple backpack is you have your 240 ammo, you have your 120 light, you have a decent amount of heals. What you can do is a little bit easier for you to manage because you have an ammo slot. You can pick up an alt excel. So picking up alt accelerants for your team is super important, especially when you're playing characters like Bangalore. So Bangalore, Catalyst, Horizon, whatever. Every character has the ability, instead of picking up a nade, you could pick up an alt excel. So ultimate accelerant, every character has the ability to pick that up, right? If you wanted to swap out a nade spot for the alt excel, you do that. You can even drop 2 batteries, pick up an alt excel, whatever. Loba doesn't need the alt excel. The thing about Loba is you save the alt excel for the characters that need it the most, right? Like most of the time when I play Revenant, a lot of you guys have seen me play Revenant, I'll pop my alt, and the second that the team fight's done and I find an alt excel on the ground, I immediately grab it and I use it instantaneously. I get 35% more of my alt ready for the next fight. So if we do get third partied, I already popped the alt excel. My ult's almost ready for the next fight. It has a very, very short cooldown. You don't need it. But for someone like Bangalore who has a 4-minute alt, you know, she's going to be sitting there kind of SOL in the next fight. But for the most part, this is the setup that you want for your assault character. And I did it for the other like regular characters. You obviously can mix and match, but I'm giving you a baseline of what you should shoot for, right? 240 ammo of your primary, 120 in your SMG, and the heals and nades and alt excels are up to your discretion. But one of those things is always, 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 rule of thumb, is always carry 12 cells. You never really want to drop cells. Like 12 cells and 4 batteries is like the basis for the average, or not would say average, but even pro players will always rock 12 cells, 4 batteries. And the reason why is because if you don't take damage and your teammates do take damage, you will have extra to give. And that's the most important part. It's a team gameplay. You want to be able to give those meds to your teammates to where like they're like sitting there, you know, oh, I'm dying. To get advanced, there's an advanced guide to this, right? Is a lot of teams in pro play, and this is specifically only for pro play. This is something that is really hard to teach. You can drop a nade and you carry 1 Phoenix kit. And the reason why you carry the Phoenix kit is pretty much you will see a lot of pros will always prioritize the Phoenix kit in the safest situation possible. And what you use the Phoenix kit for in professional play and high tier play is you use it to poke, but you never, ever, ever, ever use the Phoenix kit in the middle of a team fight. Depending on the team fight. 90% of the time you use a Phoenix kit in a team fight, you'll die for it. You'll have like 0.5 seconds left, 0.1 second, whatever. Like, doesn't matter. You always die. And it was given the name the greed, like the greed kit, like you're greedy. When you could just pop a battery and guarantee yourself 100 HP in the end game, 125 HP, and then pop a med kit after. Yeah, it's longer, but if you do get jumped on, you have 125 HP to try to make a play. Whereas the Phoenix kit, really gets you killed. So a lot of people will use the Phoenix kit as a baseline to save you a med kit and to save you a battery or 4 cells or 5 cells. So what you do is you use the Phoenix kit in the safest position. So you'll see a lot of people, they'll poke and they'll be like, oh, I'm 60 HP off my, red armor. What somebody will do is they'll keep poking, even though they have no shield, they'll keep poking and they'll get, down to like 20 HP, but they got the 60 damage they needed. Then they'll pop the Phoenix kit, right? It's like, but they know that they're very, very safe to do so. Like, they're not going to get knocked. They're not worried about it. And even if they do get knocked, they just get rezzed because they're safe. And then they, they'll pop the Phoenix kit. So this isn't necessarily a prioritized healing item unless you know how to use it. And that I'm going to say, in higher tier play, go for it. I think, in lower tier play, I think, you can use it. It's fine. But you'll see what I mean. Everybody who plays Apex for a long time will know what I'm talking about. But if you're new to Apex, just know that this definitely gets you killed more often than it helps you if you're trying to use it in the middle of a team fight. So I always avoid it, and I stick to getting, 2 batteries or something like that. Now, in professional play, I know a lot of people watch Imperial Hal. Imperial Hal, I've seen him sometimes carry, 8 cells, right? And what he does is you have to think, playing with a team, a professional team, being at the professional level, he knows what he has to carry because he also trusts his team, and that's where the difference comes in. So I see a lot of people will try to copy his inventory, but with the inventory, the bag space that I'm creating for you guys is an inventory bag space that is used across the board, whether it's in pubs, whether it's in ranked with your friends, whether it's at pred rank, because I use this entire inventory at pred rank. What he's using is competitive. In ALGS, his backspace is different because his teammates, he can trust them. He knows how they play. They carry ult accelerants. They carry, he needs enough ammo to shoot, to make sure that he has enough for the team fights, things like that, to where sometimes he carries 8 cells, but he also plays Horizon a lot, so he makes sure that he carries 4 arc stars. You'll see him always prioritize getting nades for the team fight. Same thing with 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves players, they'll prioritize 5 nades over the heals. So that's something they do as well. Backspace is mix and match, but for the most part, the basis of Apex Legends is going to be this right here. This is usually what I run. What I'll do is if I find an ult excel, I might drop some ammo and then pick up an ult excel instead, so that way I can prep my ult for the next team fight, whatever. But for the most part, this is going to be my inventory, and that's how I like it. Sometimes if I ask my teammates if they need batteries, I'll drop this, right? And I'll pick up more ammo. Whatever. This is also a very acceptable thing. You can kind of mix match, but I'm giving you the basis to start it. So this is Season 18, bag space, what you should run for the majority of your characters. So there it is. Okay? There it is, there it is, there it is. You guys see it now. Bada bing, bada boom. There's the bag space. So yeah, that's how you inventory, that's how you like backpacks inventory. Inventory backpack management is very, very, very important. And that's how I run it. I gave you like no backpack to white backpack, blue, purple, and then finally legendary. The one last thing I'll say about backpack management is if you find yourself like like a Kraber, an L-Star, I tend to always drop my primary. So I'll do this. I'll pick up the L-Star, and what I'll do is I'll probably pick up like another stack of ammo like this, and I'll have like 2 or 180, and I'll just prioritize a bunch of nades. So my inventory will look something like this. Usually I try to keep the batteries at 6 because I'm very aggressive depending on what character you play. So my inventory will look something like this for the, for if I have a legendary weapon, Kraber, L-Star, Bocek, Prowler, stuff like this. Now, the Prowler is the only one that might change, but again, just drop your primary, stuff like that. So